So since yesterday, the new Dune trailer has been trending #1 on YouTube. It looks really good. I don't know anything about Dune. I'm going to be upfront about that. I've never read the books. I've never seen the previous miniseries. But I liked what I saw. I thought it looked like a good flick. I'm looking forward to watching it. I know some people that do know a lot about Dune have been kind of worried about it, but from watching that trailer, I thought it looked pretty good. It looks like something everybody should be able to get behind. I see representation there, so that should make some people happy, and it looks like a good movie. Great. I think as long as the story is good and the movie is good, that's all I really care about, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good movie. Now, could it end up being a stinker? Sure, it could be NPC as much as any other movie is. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to watching it. I hope it's good. And to my surprise, all of the articles, at least more recent articles, are pretty positive about the trailer. It seems that some people, I say some people, are happy about it and they're okay with it. And they think that it's going to be a fine movie and they're ready to go. However, it's not the case for everybody. So from what I understand, this movie takes place like 20,000 years in the future of mankind or something. So I would think that, cultures and the landscape of the earth have probably changed. But because it would seem that Dune takes some cultures and uses them in the movie and probably in the books, I would imagine, that means that there's only one group of people that are allowed to be in it and everyone must be taken off. We're back to it again. Cultural appropriation is a big thing with this movie, and apparently people are upset that movies with giant worm monsters don't have the correct representation, which is ridiculous because when I watched the trailer, it looked like there was plenty of representation in the movie, and I don't see the problem. As long as the movie is good, who cares? But apparently, we always have to find something to be upset about. In fact, if we look over to Twitter, this is what's kind of funny. Some people aren't even sure. Is Dune problematic? I remember seeing stuff about cultural appropriation, but I don't know. So we're not even sure. We don't even know. But you tell me, should I be upset about this movie? I just don't know. Here's another one, and there's a whole bunch, by the way. It's difficult for me to get into Dune discourse because even those who try to raise awareness about the cultural appropriation tend to forget North African Amazigh culture's influence and lump everything into an ebb box. So we can't even just argue about what it's appropriating. It's all kinds of different ones. Why can't we celebrate cultures and use things in creative stories? I don't understand the problem here. What if someone's curious about that and wants to go learn about the culture? Isn't that helping it? I always find this appropriation thing incredibly ridiculous. Like the other day, I did a video on Adele because she had some crazy stuff in her hair and she was wearing a Jamaican flag top bikini. Like she was wearing the top of bikini with the Jamaican flag. And people were going crazy about it. It's like, really, who cares? Literally finding something to get upset about here. And then we move on to this one. This guy's writing a whole essay. I'm over here writing a whole ass essay about cultural appropriation for my ethics studies class, and I'm going off about Dune. And then, of course, the blue check marks. The blue check marks all over. A little upset about Dune. Like, it's just so funny. Can't you just enjoy something? Isn't there anything? And this movie literally has representation. But we still got to find a reason to get mad about it. What possibly do we need to do to cancel Dune? Is there something we can come up with? Oh, I know. Let's just go with this one. It's just so ridiculous at this point. And it's just so funny. It's always over on Twitter. This is where it gets the traction going. Ah, yes. A film about Middle Eastern culture shot in the Middle East without a single Middle Eastern actor in sight. Can't wait. Do you really know that, though, from the trailer? That's the thing. Do you really know that just from the trailer? Okay, and first off, this is 20,000 years in the future or something. Like, would it even technically be the Middle East at that point? They call it Dune, so I'm guessing, like, what, is the planet a big sand dune? I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. It's a sci-fi movie, but, you know, always got to find a reason to get upset. So she tweets out that article that I showed you already and then goes on about the problem even more. I think this is that Ridley Scott movie. I can't remember, or is this a new movie? Ridley Scott refused to cast so-and-so in a new film. And then he goes on about talent. Look at this long thread complaining about that movie. It's so ridiculous. But there's quite a few people that are literally upset about it. It's funny. If you just do a couple searches on Twitter, you'll see that it's not just one or two people. There's a whole legion. There's a whole legion of people that are whining about the movie. And you know what's funny about that too? What's really funny about it is these people literally tweet hundreds of times a day, most of them. And I've talked about this so many times. And how this works is these people will tweet about it over and over and over and over again. And eventually they'll get Dune and some type of appropriation hashtag trending. I'm surprised they haven't. I'm surprised they haven't been able to so far. But usually that's kind of how that works. We'll see. Now, usually one or two check marks will take notice of this and they'll start writing articles. I bet you by the weekend, there'll be 3 to 4 articles about this movie and appropriation and all of this stuff. And they'll probably start calling it istophobic. I mean, you know the routine. It's just funny. I thought this was a really good example of them just not being able to enjoy anything. How miserable it must be to be so joyless. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about Dune. I'm like excited for it. I thought it looked like a great sci-fi flick, so I'm pumped. I can't wait to see it. I love good sci-fi. I hope it turns out to be a good movie that puts story first and finally entertains. It's been a while since I've seen a good modern sci-fi film. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me your comments, like, share. Make sure you still subscribe. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.